Welcome back, you guys. I am so excited for today's video because I've actually already filmed it a few weeks ago. So I told you in a post on my community tab that I did a ranking type of video talking about my like 5 pans, 6 pans, and 9 pan palettes. And I had to trash the video because I had lipstick all over my teeth. So we're back, and I'm actually kind of glad that happened because I forgot a bunch of stuff. And I got more stuff since then. And there's some really good stuff in here. And I cannot wait to tell you about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. If this is your first time here, my name is Heather. And I really do love all things makeup. I freaking love eyeshadow. Especially indie brand eyeshadow. It's an obsession for real. But if you happen to love those things too, I really hope you will subscribe and stick around. I got a bunch of good videos coming up. This video, if it's up already, I'll show you guys the thumbnail here so it's easier to find. But if not, it was created with the new palette from Unearthly Cosmetics, and I do love it very, very much. So, and as much as I love this look, the first one I did is even better in my opinion. I cannot wait for you guys to see that video if you haven't yet. But like I said, we have like 43, I think I counted 43 palettes here. There is a lot to get through. So instead of ranking it, I sort of rank it, but in a different way. I have categories. Okay, so the way I want to do this is I'm going to have 3 categories on my likeliness of pulling it out. And there's going to be low, medium, high. So we're going to go through this and I'm going to let you know what are the chances of me like pulling this out and wanting to use it in my collection. Hopefully this all makes sense because it barely does to me, but I'm doing my best. So let's get into it. Now, I also put on a lip oil. I got this one in PR from Sigma. It's the Renew lip oil, and this is the shade Tranquil. I love this formula a lot. I already had one. It's awesome too because the package they sent me had like so many awesome things in it, but none of it was like stuff that I already had. Like it's like they knew what I had in my collection. So I have the shade Tint prior, and I think they're beautiful. I did use the Makeup Forever lip liner in the shade Boundless Berry as well, because we're not doing a lipstick in this video. I am not gonna have to trash this video again. That sucks so bad. So actually, I'm kind of glad that all happened because I have gotten more stuff since I filmed that video, and one of the things being the Avatar collection from Lethal. So Lethal made me fall so in love with them with that Dexter collab. Their formula is so good. And these palettes ranked in everyone's like top 20 of the year. And creators who like ranked 120 palettes or more to rank in the top 20 is a huge deal. So I had to have them. I wanted them when they released, but to be transparent, I couldn't afford to pick them up at the time. So I skipped on them, but these are beautiful. So I actually just opened these. We're gonna swatch them together. If you're new here, I love swatching a lot. I end up swatching so much stuff, but we're gonna do that again today. I think it just makes it more fun, and I get so excited. It like puts me in the best mood ever. So I think this might be my favorite. It's the green one. It's the Earth Pressed Powder Palette. The shimmers in here look so good. And look at the embossings. Like, this is stunning. But I have to put my finger in these. Now, as for formula, I do really enjoy the Lethal formula. There was one palette I had from them that I wasn't crazy about. It was like the Moth palette. I can't remember. And they didn't put the names on the palette. That's something I wish they would do more, which they do in these. And that makes me happy. But we have to swatch that center shade, because I have a feeling this palette is going to be my favorite thing this spring and summer. And yes, it's like a lime green to a pink, and there's like a little bit of gold in there. So freaking stunning. And then we got Badger Mole. So I've never actually watched Avatar. So this has like no nostalgic value for me. That is stunning. Let's do the other two shades. Why Not We Are Here. Ooh, this one. It's like a very lime green metallic. So stunning. So if I were to rank this, it would be based solely on the way it's swatched. So take that for what you will. It's not a review or anything like that. I don't want what I'm saying to be misconstrued, but I would rank this in the very likely chance of me using it because I love this color story. It's super fun. I feel like with the mattes and shimmers, you could take this in several different directions. Plus, it would be really fun to pair it with some of the other palettes that we're going to talk about today. But those shimmers are like high shine, and it really reminds me of the Dexter palette. And I feel like they're working on their formula, and it seems to be getting better and better, which excites me. Then we have this palette. This is the Air palette, and I wish the Air had more blue. This palette is pretty, but I don't see myself gravitating towards this color story. So if it has the same good formula as I know and love from Lethal, yeah, this would probably be in the middle, in the medium category, because I could see, like, I want to play with it and create some looks with it, but I don't think it's like my favorite out of all of these that they launched. It's a little neutral, which that's fine, but those just aren't the shades that I typically gravitate towards. Okay, so my camera cut off because my SD card was full, so I am back. I don't know where it cut off at, but we were talking about the Air palette, and I was saying how, I don't know, it's not my favorite color story out of those. These shimmers are so freaking gorgeous. I just don't see myself reaching for this one as much as I would the others. So therefore I would put this like in the meh medium category. Also, I hope it goes without saying, but just because I don't like something does not mean that you can't like it. I don't ever want my videos to be taken that way, because that's not what I mean at all. I actually like that we all have different opinions. I think it makes the world a more interesting place. I love a good debate, you know? So please don't take it that way. But then we have the Water palette, and maybe that's why they didn't use a lot of blue in that palette. But this one, the blues with the silver, you even have a neutral. Like, I don't know if the neutral needed to be in here, but I think the palette is, I almost said blue, but I meant beautiful. Look over me, guys. It's like 11 o'clock at night. So let's do some swatching. This shade right here, Spirit Oasis, looks freaking gorgeous. I'm not going to swatch everything in this video. I'm mostly swatching all the shades in this because I haven't gotten to yet, but look at that one on my middle finger. Oh, it's so pretty. What shade is that? Kuruk. I don't know how to say that, guys. Look at that. They're so wet and glossy looking, and the formula feels like silky. I think it's beautiful. I'm going to be covered in glitter. So this one I could see myself reaching for, so I would probably put this one in like a high chance of me using it. I feel like there needs to be 4 categories though. I know I would like this palette a lot, and there's a good chance of me using it, but I don't know if it would like stand out above these other ones. So I kind of would put it in between, like in between the high and medium category, somewhere there. Maybe we should do a points system. 1 being the chance I will never use it, 5 being the chance I know I would pull it out. So if that's the case, I would probably give this one 3.75. We can do that. This one I would probably give a 2. And the green, I would probably get, the green gets a 5. And then last out of those, we have the red one, which I'm assuming is fire. Yes. This one is freaking delicious. And in a world, listen, I love cool tones. I've fallen so in love with them in 2024, and I'm still in love with them, but it's so nice to have a warm palette every now and then, and this looks freaking divine. So, of course, we're going to have to swatch that red. Ugh, the red has like an orange flip to it. It's so stunning. Overlook my nails. Oh, that yellow. That is freaking gorgeous. So, this one I would probably give a 4 because I like this one a lot, but I don't know. It just depends on what I'm wearing, what I'm doing. But usually I do my makeup and then I plan my clothes around it. I've always done that. I love makeup. It's always like the focal point. Let's do some Unearthly Cosmetics. These are beautiful. So my likelihood of using this is definitely a 5. It's very high. I love this palette. That shade is like an antique gold shade, but it has like this lime green flip to it. And then this shade. This shade is a highlighter. It's incredible. And then we have that one. Yeah, there's 3 shimmers in this palette. So this one definitely gets a 5. That center shade, it's insane. Like this brand, oh, I didn't get enough for that one. This brand came in here though, and they were like, hi, I'm here. And don't ever forget it. Like, it's so freaking spectacular. I love them so much. They've done such a great job. And with every release, they're better and better and better. The Smitten palette and collection that just came out, I fell so in love with it. I think it's freaking gorgeous, and I could not recommend it more. But also alongside of that was this palette. So this is the Warlock of the Wood. And if you're not familiar, this is a collection, well, a collaboration that was done with Basket Case Beauty, and this is their palette. These shimmers are some of my favorites. Oh, that one and Hemlock is one of my favorites in my whole collection. Like, the sparkles in it are so gorgeous. It's like very, very finely milled sparkles though. But look at that deep brown base it has. You could just see it the way it glistens. Oh, it's so stunning. It's just so freaking beautiful. This is a brand, I don't know if they're doing codes yet because they are like a really small brand. But they're really small, but they might not be that small anymore, even though they're new, because like I said, their collections have just been hits, like one right after the other. But I'm not sure if they have codes yet, but they are a brand that I would love to get a code with eventually because they're just outstanding. I could not recommend them more. Also, I brought out 3 palettes that have all shimmers too, in case you guys are looking for something like that, or maybe you just want to see the sparkles like I do. But since we're talking about DIEVERUNE, I thought we'd bring out the Dewdrops. This blew my freaking mind. So I bought this a couple of months ago after one of the collections I bought from them, and I'm pretty sure it was the one I just showed you. Look at that. It's so delicious. It's so stunning. It actually reminds me of one of the shades that are on my lid that's from the Artitude singles collection. This shade in the center, they didn't put the shade names on it, so I can't tell you what it is, but it's from their newest collection. It reminds me of that a lot. That's the shade Plop. I also love the shade names. We have Plop, Drip, Drop. I was thinking in my head, I love a bitch that rhymes, but probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but I really do. And look at Drop. It's, oh my God. Things like this is the reason I don't think I could ever get sick of eyeshadow. Like, somehow, like, somebody always manages to create something that is outstanding and surprising. But now we're going to work on the next row. Splish, Splash, Blush. Here I am swatching everything when I swore I wouldn't. Oh, sometimes I forget how good those are. That's a hollow. It's stunning. Splash is really good too. They're like so silky. It's so hard to describe unless you have them as well. But here we have Splosh. So these I actually keep in front of me, these all shimmer palettes, because I like to pull stuff in sometimes for looks. You can kind of see it down there. It's got like that bluer base to it. It's so stunning. I'm pretty sure these are all multi-chromes as well, and they're gorgeous. They might, I think one of them might be a duo, and it looks like we also have a holo, but aren't they so pretty? Someone commented on my video and said they're on a low buy, and what they like to do is when they feel the impulse to buy something new, they sit down and they go through their collection, and I think that's such a brilliant idea. Because I know when I do these types of videos, I get so excited for what I have. That was just such a good idea. I've told you guys about it before, but we have new people here, so I wanted to mention it. And hi to the new people. How are you? How are all of you? I would love to know. Let me know down below. It's been some trying times lately for a lot of us. That's all I can say. But next, let's do these two. Oh, 5. I use it all the time for inner corner. I would never use it for a single look, so maybe I should give it a 4, but I do use it all the time. It's so beautiful. It adds, like, you could take the most, like, simplest formula, like ColourPop, and add a shimmer like that to the lid, and it's gonna like level it up so fast. So this one is from Bella Beauty Bar, and it is the Molten Chromes. It's a beautiful 6-pan. It is magnetic, in case you're interested in that, and I love this so much. So my favorite shades are these 4 here. These ones are pretty too, but they're not as like bam in your face as the others. Like, look at Heat. So stunning. And then we have Melt, Molten. Molten is the top one, and it's a holo. It's so beautiful. Dissolve is one of the most used shades in my collection because it does the best inner corner. Oh, it just brings life to the eye. Great for halo eyes as well. And then we have the 2 that I said are nice, but I just gravitate more towards the other ones, but they're beautiful as well. One is Bake. Bake is on the top. That one is really pretty. It's pink. What I'm seeing is pink to purple, but it has like a fluorescent blue kind of flip to it, and you guys are barely even seeing the pink. It's there though. And then the bottom one is Drip. This one, so let's do Dewdrops at 4.5. Molten Chromes will get a 4 because there are 2 shades in there that I don't really care for. I mean, they're beautiful, but not like the ones from Dewdrop, whereas I will use all of those shades all of the time. They are stunning. They're gorgeous as highlights, inner corners, halo effects. They're fun. But I have 2 more all shimmer palettes. Let's do the Cleona. So I actually planned on reviewing this, but I bit off more than I could chew. I picked up too much and I got behind. So I just said the hell with it and I didn't do it. But let me just say, these little brushes from this collection with, who is it? Is it Bad to the Brow? I love these so much. If I could change anything about them, I would make the handles longer. That's just a pet peeve. But these detail brushes are freaking amazing. I love them. Could not recommend them more either. But let's talk about the light scatters. So in my opinion, Cleona has one of the best shimmer formulas like known to man. They're another brand I would love to have a code with because I can really get with what they're putting out. I think they're so stunning. But this palette I have not got to use on camera, so I would like to swatch it for you guys, even though I said I wasn't swatching everything first. There are no shade names, at least. No, there's not. There might be if I take it out, but I lost my magnet tool and I gotta find it or buy another one. But this shade, oh, their shimmers are just so good. But my favorite is that one. It's like a peach with this bright fluorescent purple. I don't have anything else like it. Do you see that? I do have their nail polishes from this collection as well, but I have not used them yet. I just realized, in case you're new here, I got invited to a Creators and Friends event. I went to the Creators and Friends event that was in Vegas for their Christmas party. And Christina, my friend from the owner of Gourmand Girls, she took me as her +1. So I got to meet like Angelica, Samantha, Kelly Gooch. Like, it was a dream come true for real, because I was such an avid like YouTube watcher and I learned so much from them. So it was like, really, I was so scared and nervous because I have such bad, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. I have such bad imposter syndrome. So I was like so nervous and backwards. But they invited me to go to one of their retreats, which is such a freaking huge deal for me. I am so excited, but I realized it's in a month and I got instantly terrified because I got to do all these things, and it's like one of those things, like I'm so excited, but I'm also really nervous. Like, do I belong there? Do you know what I mean? I don't know what got me on that whole tangent, but it's exciting. Maybe I'll remember in a minute, though. I don't remember why I was even telling you guys that. But anyways, let's get back into the swatching. So next, let's do the other shade that's beside that one. This one is really pretty, too. Like, really pretty. It's very special. You can kind of see the flips. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I plan on doing my nails with the Cliona polishes, like for that. See how like my brain with ADHD is such a mess sometimes, but I'm excited for it. But I'm also really, really nervous, if I'm being honest. Oh, that one is really pretty too. These are all gorgeous. They did a good job on this. That one is so pretty. It's like blurple. There's like a seafoam green base to it. I really would like to have more Cliona stuff. I do have some singles from them. Ooh, that one is pretty. This one I have a feeling is going to be really good as well. Yes. I'm running out of room. That bottom one, you can kind of see that top one shifting too. They're so freaking pretty. So we have one more. And this one looks really pretty. Kind of matches my shirt and the eye look I have on. We're going to have to put this one on the pinky. Freaking stunning. But if I didn't say, this is the Light Scatters palette, and it's 10 out of 10. But I would probably give it a 4 because, so quality-wise, I would give it a 5. But my likelihood of using it, like on its own, is actually really low because I love matte. I love shimmers. They're my favorite part of an eyeshadow palette. But I love mattes as well, and I need them. I can't imagine doing a look without mattes. And I know a lot of people do like that. So because of that, I would rank it a little lower. Probably like a 4 like I did the other ones as well. Quality is there. Same with this one. So this is from DEDE Signature. This was the collab with Makeup on Your Radar. It's the, hold on, I have the box. From the Plume collection. And there are 4 little palettes in this. And it looks like this. I do keep mine stored in this little thing, but these are freaking beautiful, and it's a collab with Makeup on Your Radar, who I really love. That's how I keep up with all my makeup news. But this one is an all shimmer palette, and these are all like toppery shades, which also work as highlights, inner corners, which are some of my favorites. So if I had to rank this one, I know I would use this. I do use it a lot. So personally, I would give this a 5. Totally worth it. These are not flaky or anything like that. They're really soft and smooth. all of the things that, you know, we want out of a shimmer shade. But they are so wet looking and glossy, and she does a really good job at keeping her things more affordable, which I do appreciate. I have noticed like some brands have really jacked up the prices on their shipping to a point where it's ridiculous. Like their business is on the same side of the United States as where I live, and they're charging like $25 for shipping, plus you have high prices. Come on, you know what I mean? But I would give this one a 5. It's freaking outstanding. I had to pause for a minute and go get something to drink, and I was playing with the dogs, and Snoopy scratched me. Oh, it bled so bad, so I had to take a second to, you know, get it to calm down. But I scar so easy, so that's going to be a new scar. This was like barely a scrape, that red mark, and it's scarred. My doctor needs to figure out what's going on there. But I figured we could take a little break from indie and do, well, ColourPop is indie too, but they're more drugstore indie, so let's take a break on those and do some of these. So I had a ton of ColourPop, but after I started getting more into indie brands, and really since I started my channel, I've tried a bunch of different brands. So I've gotten rid of a lot of my ColourPop because their formula just isn't my favorite anymore. Their mattes are a little more powdery than I like, but they do have a good formula too. And when it's good, it's really good. You know what I mean? So this is the Mandalorian, the Child. And I love this color story so freaking much. I think it's so beautiful. But as for quality, I would probably give it a 3. Because some of the shimmers are dull. This one. The other ones are really pretty. But I feel like if you're someone who loves ColourPop, then like you really love them. But do you see what I mean? Like compared to everything else, they're just not it. So I would probably give this one a 2 in all fairness. This one I really like too. This is the Mandalorian. And this one is really pretty. This is my first dive into like, I almost said neutrals. That Cosmic Beauty palette got me. But this was my first dive into a more cool tone palette, and it is really pretty as well, but the shimmers for me are dull, but some people like that type of shimmer formula. You even have this beautiful duo here. So it's just a preference thing. Again, I would give this one a 2. Okay, these two from ColourPop I really, really love a lot. So Wine and Only is such a good one. It has a good formula in it as well, but they're still not that indie quality. But these are like so much more affordable. Like I think they're around $15, and I feel like this shimmer formula is better than the other two that I just swatched. I actually really like this one, but I loved this palette for a long time. But it's not a standalone palette for me because it's too monochromatic, and you guys know how I like to do my looks. Honestly, if you pulled like a green palette in with this palette, you could probably recreate this look. And my favorite way to use the Wine and Only is with In the Limelight, and they don't sell this one anymore, and I don't know why. This palette is freaking stunning. This shade Layout is so beautiful, but I love this one. I've created a ton of looks with it, and I could see myself pulling this one out again. So the In the Limelight I would probably give a 4, but as for Wine and Only I would probably do it a 3, because by itself I won't use it, but I will use it in combination with other palettes, if that makes sense. So these ones in the like hard packaging, like the blue, orange, I had all of them, and I've ended up giving them away to like family and friends. I loved these. I got these for Christmas in, it was either, I think it was 2020, but I love them so much. I've gotten so much use out of them. The other ones I think I gave to my mom. This was one of my favorites. I love this palette. The shimmers are okay. They're like nothing to write home about, but They're pretty. Again, I would probably give this one a 3 as well. And probably the same for these two. So you can tell, mine are very well used. This is the Honey. And like the writing is gone. Same with Orange You Glad. I don't know. This one might be my favorite out of the other ones. Like all of these ColourPop ones, I mean. I'm like all over the place, guys. I'm so sorry. There is a pressed glitter in this palette, but I actually liked it. They have some of the best pressed glitters that I've used, but it just depends on if you're comfortable using those. But the undertones of this orange palette make it so freaking terrific. But I would still give it a 3. I cannot tell you the last time I used these palettes. I think I used these two right before I started my channel, and my 2-year channel anniversary is coming up. So it's been a while. I hold on to them for like nostalgic reasons, but other than that, I mean, they're nothing. I don't know. I just fell out of love with ColourPop. This one, the same. I could say the same about this one. I love the undertones of this one as well. And again, it does have a pressed glitter. I know these are available still, and I think they re-released them at Target, but they're in like a clear packaging now. See what I mean? They're like your more traditional type of shimmer. And I know like a lot of people with hooded eyes and stuff like that prefer that more traditional type. But personally, I like all the glitz and glam and sparkle, which is why those ones rank a little lower. There are a lot of people that really love the ColourPop formula, and I did used to be one of them, but for now, I could live without them. I don't really care either way. But let's move on to more exciting things, at least for me. We have 3 more palettes from that DEDE Signature collection with Makeup on Your Radar. So this is the Extravagance. This is one of my favorites out of that collection. These shimmers are really pretty. They're high shine, and that's what I look for in a shimmer. This green is stunning. Like, do you see the difference between that formula and this one? It's like so much better, but this color story to me is fun. I like the artwork on it. So you could do several different things with this. You could do these 2 colors together, these 2 together, but out of these, I don't think it's my favorite. I had this mixed up with another one. I'll show you my favorite next, but this one isn't bad, but I would still probably give it a 2.5 because I would never use this on its own. I like a chaotic color story, but when it's a small palette like this, chaotic doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, I could use that in combination with all of these palettes, but I'm just trying to show you guys, like, I'm just trying to explain how I feel about them as a standalone. This color story, I absolutely freaking love. And it actually reminds me of a 12 pan that I have from Ladybug Glow. It's Paradise Cove. It's a collab with Ladybug Glow and Gourmet Girls. Do you see that? It just keeps going and going. But the only thing about this one, I wish it had a lighter shimmer. But I do really love the matte. So I would probably give this one like a 3.75. But it's great quality. And then we have the Eloquence. This one is pretty, but if I'm being honest, I feel like this color story is kind of tired, in my opinion anyway. I have so much of this in my collection. The reason I have it is because I freaking love DEDE Signature so much. I love her formula. Look at this. And I really love Makeup on Your Radar as well. So I wanted to support the collab, and I knew I would like the formula. I would just probably never use these by themselves. I would either use them all together or mixed with other things. So I would probably give this one a 3 because I like this color story a little less. This one I love. I love it so much more than I thought I would. This is from Ladybug Glow, and it's more neutral. It's giving soft glam. With the shirt that I have on, this would be so beautiful. You could get such a easy, effortless kind of look, and these shimmers are so good. They are so, so good. If I could give one recommendation with the iridescent shades from Ladybug Glow and Gourmand Girls, do not use glitter glue with them. Only the iridescent shades, but they look so much better without the glitter glue. But I love that they put those shades in their palettes because on the face and on the eyes, they are so stunning. They make such great highlights, but even though you guys know I'm a color lover at heart, I will always be, at least I think so at this very moment. I can't imagine being anything else, but this is such an easy, effortless palette, and it did not get the hype that it deserves. The packaging on this is really beautiful as well. The artwork is really beautiful. You have like those little glitter reflex, and she did just open her website, so yay for her. I'm so super happy for her, but that's a really good one. This is a good one too. This one I got in PR. I don't think I got any of the other ones in PR. I bought all of those myself. But this is from Blairdale MUA Cosmetics. I still have not posted my 4 looks video, and I feel so bad about it because he sent me this, or they sent me this. And this palette is so freaking beautiful, you guys. It's such a gorgeous 9-pan. And I love like the cool with the pop of blue and the pop of purple. But these shimmers are outstanding. The matte formula was really easy to work with, really easy to blend. It built up, it layered. You could start with the light shades or the deep shades. It was a very easy, effortless kind of formula. It kind of reminds me a lot of the matte formula from Gourmand Girls and Ladybug Glow, if you guys are familiar with those. And while we're talking about Ladybug Glow, I have the End of the Rainbow palette. This was a collab with the Ice Cream Beauty Box, which I highly recommend. That's the best beauty box in my opinion. But my gorgeous friend Mel sent me this palette, and I'm so happy to have it. I had never tried Ladybug Glow, so this is my first palette from them, and I love it. I love this color story. This is what I meant when I said I love things that are a little more chaotic. This is chaos in the most beautiful way, and I'm telling you, the looks that I could create with this, like you could obviously do this row, that in the inner corner, and do this on the lid. Even that blue would be pretty with that combination, but more so the yellow, even more. And then you could do this on that first half, this on the back half, that on the outer corner with a little bit of pink in the inner, and that on the lid. You could also use that combo as more of a halo eye. This gray and the crease, and use this gold to blend it out. The cool and warm tones are some of my favorite ways to mix my shimmers. But needless to say, this is a 5 for me. I think it's so beautiful. I don't know if it's still available. If I find it, I will link it down below with everything else. But thank you again to Mel for sending this to me. You are freaking awesome. And if you're not following her on Instagram, highly recommend her channel. She does really good looks over there. So next, another palette from PR. It's the Shattered Romance. This is another one that is new to my collection since I filmed that video. I love this. This is one of my favorite Valentine's Day releases of the year. These shimmers are so outstanding, but I love this color story. This gets a 5 all day. I do have a video with this one. I have a video with a few of these actually. And they would be in my 2024 video, but this one, I have a playlist that's eyeshadow palettes I reviewed in 2024. This one is in the 2025 playlist, but this is so beautiful. Her formula just keeps getting better and better and better, and I love it so much. Honestly, the thing I feel like she needs to work on now, if she's not already, is the artwork on the packaging. Now, the packaging itself has been updated and it's a lot better. It's a great quality type of packaging. I feel like the artwork kind of cheapens it, and I think once she gets the hang of that, she's really gonna do so well, because I love her formula and her color stories inspire me so much. I think they're so fun. Oh, and this was sent to me by one of you guys, and you are so awesome. It is the Cold Dust Woman. This is the only palette I have from Notoriously Morbid, and it is really beautiful. I love this yellow grungy color story. They hand press, like hand make all of their shadows and stuff, so I think it takes a while to be able to like get it in, but these are really beautiful, and I'm so happy that you sent me this, because I probably would have waited a while before I tried them, simply because it's hard for me. I have to make sure, like, when I buy a palette to review it, that it's from a brand that I can get in a decent amount of time, or the video just doesn't do very well. But look at this. It's so freaking stunning. Those are so shimmery and shiny, but this is a very fun color story, and I love like this light green shade that's in here for like inner corner. You could do a gorgeous matte look with this one as well. So if you like the more earthy tones, I think you would love this. I don't know if I said, but it's Gold Dust Woman. So I would probably give this one a 3.9, simply because the other stuff that's left is like super good. So let's do a little bit of the higher end stuff. And to put it, you know, simply, I don't have a lot of that because your girl can't afford it. So I have one from Natasha Denona. I had more, but I think I decluttered them. And this one I got in a BoxyCharm. So this one I actually haven't used. This is the Rosewood palette, and you have one matte in these gorgeous shimmers. Now, this is very neutral, but these shimmers look stunning, and where it has that really deep matte, I could totally see myself doing that. Like, use a wing liner brush, smoke out the lash line, and then dust one of these shimmers all over the lid. I would totally be into that. And there's times where, you guys know, if you're familiar with my channel, I am always running late. In almost every video, I'm like, so I gotta get ready, we're going blah, 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 and I'm late. It's a thing for me. But these are like so simple, and this palette I feel like is very effortless. So I like this one, actually. It would be good for traveling as well. So I would honestly give this a 4. The quality is very nice. Well, I don't know about this quality, but I know the Natasha Denona quality is very nice. And did you guys see the new palette? Are you interested in me reviewing it? I would love to hear your thoughts. I'm thinking about it. It's getting me. So then I have some Pat McGrath. I do have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 palettes from Pat McGrath, but unfortunately I have none of the Mothership palettes. When those were launching, they were like $80, and I was real poor back then. There was no way I couldn't even fathom spending that much money on anything, let alone an eyeshadow palette. So I missed all of those. I don't even know if you can buy them anymore, but everyone that I spoke to in the comments says those were their best palettes. So I'm not familiar enough with their formula to really give you thoughts on it. But I do have this one. Amanda bought it for me. This is the MMXVII, whatever that is. I can't read Roman numerals. I need to learn. Oh, it's the Blitz Astro Quad. And you have 4 shimmers. Now, these look really pretty in the pan. The one I'm drawn to is this one, and it looks really shiny. These I've dipped into this for looks off of camera, and they're pretty, but for the price of the palette, I don't feel like they're pretty enough. And then you have this purple. This is one of the most dullest shimmers that I've ever seen. It's more dull than the Glamlight Kiss palette, which is saying something. So it's a little disappointing, you know what I mean? And then I have this one. I think it was last year's Valentine's Day release. It is the Daring Desire. And this is another one I feel like would be great for travel or the quick kind of looks. If that's what you're into, you could do the same with this, as I said, the Natasha Denona. You could add some of this deep brown as wing liner and then put one of these shimmers on the lid. But again, the quality is, it's not bad, but it's not anything special. You know what I mean? It's in the middle. So I would give these a 2. harsh, but the truth hurts sometimes, you know? I've learned that myself the hard way. So I actually did a review of this on my channel as well. It's the Glamlight Holiday Sweets. So the formula of this is incredible. And again, this is one of those palettes that you could do, you could smoke out the outer corner or something and then easily use one of these shimmers to, you know, sparkle the eye a little bit. It's really good for those one and done kind of looks, but for me, when it comes to creating a look that excites me, like the one I have on now, you're not going to get that out of this. This is a fabulous formula. The mattes are beautiful. The shimmers are outstanding, but this is just not my kind of color story. I'm not really into the matte to shimmer ratio, but it is beautiful, and I could see myself using it for a quick look. But if I'm being honest with myself, I have probably close to 300 palettes, and if I want to create a look, this is not going to be when I pull out for that. So if I was rating this on formula, it would get a 5. If I'm rating it on my likeliness of using it, it gets probably a 1. Okay, so then we have NBA Cosmetics. So I just tried them for the first time, and I do have a video on these, and I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest. So I did have issues with one. I think it was this one, Moonlit Realm, and I think it was because I started with a light shade. I'm pretty sure I used like this gray or something, and then I used the green over top of it, something like that. I would have to watch the video to remember, and I had issues with patchiness. But during the second look, I did it opposite. I started with the deeper shade and then blended out the deeper shade with the lighter shades, and I had no issues at all, and I had a really good time. The looks, I was able to fix the first look, but I just want to be honest, you know, and I don't want you guys to pick it up and then that happen to you and be like, oh, that bitch is a liar. So I would rather tell you, you know, so you're completely aware of everything. But all in all, I did have a good time with it, and I was able to fix the look. But with that being said, these palettes are freaking outstanding. So this is my favorite. It's the Cursed Moon, and she gets a 5. I love this palette. I could see myself pulling this out time and time again. I think it's freaking gorgeous. It makes me so happy. I can't even stand it. The shade Eerie is so freaking spectacular, but it is one of those flaky shades, just so you know. But Jesus, oh my God, it is so good. I cannot even stand it. It's so beautiful. And then we have a bunch of other gorgeous shades. Their shimmer formula is 10 out of 10. Really, really good. Infernal. Afflicted is beautiful. Look how icy that is. It looks molten almost. It's outstanding. And that's the shade Harrowing. My bad, but I think it's so beautiful, you guys. Like, look at the fingers. It's so fun. Listen, eyeshadow is the only thing that can make me want to stay up till 1 a.m. having a swatch party. It makes me so freaking excited. Let me know if it's the same for you guys down below. I just love them. So after that, I already swatched this shade. It's the same type of formula as the other. This one is beautiful as well. This one I would probably give a 4.5 for my likelihood of using it. And quality, I would give a 5. It's so beautiful. These are the shimmers. It's sickening. I have to do it on the opposite hand. I didn't think that through. To be honest, I don't think much through. I either overthink or I don't think at all. Let's hope my camera doesn't cut off, because I want to show you this palette real quick. It's the Enchanted Elixir. So this one is great quality, all the same things that I said about the others, but the color story honestly isn't my favorite. It's a bit too monochromatic. So this one I would give a 2, because I would never use it by itself, but I'll swatch a few of these. I don't get as excited for this one. as I do the others, but these shimmers are so good. They're so good. I love them. Let me know if you guys have these ones in your collection, or if you saw my video where I did looks with them. I think I did 2 looks. One I mixed palettes, and then the other one I did with a single palette. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Okay, so we have 14 palettes left, and they are from 3 different brands. So the only one I have left from Bella Beauty Bar is the Morally Gray. And I do have a video up on this one. So their formulas are like one of my top favorites. I love them so much. I think the heart-shaped pans on this are really cute, but I recommend their formula more than I could ever say. Their mattes are just so outstanding, but this is not my favorite palette from them, simply because it's a little too laid back for me, but I think this palette would go so well with the shirt I'm wearing. For me, this is just one of those travel palettes that I was talking about. It is magnetic too, which also is nice. Their shimmers are so outstanding. This is just a little too neutral for me. So if I like rank this solely on quality, it would definitely be 5. But if I rank it for how likely I am to pull it out, I would say a 3.5, because I could see myself using it for those more like quick type looks. But if I'm just sitting here and having a good time playing with makeup, I don't see myself pulling this one out. It might be my least favorite from them, simply because of color story, but I will say the shimmers are beautiful. I could see myself using those more than anything. The mattes just aren't my favorite. Also, the packaging isn't my favorite, but I don't really care about packaging as much as I care about the quality of the inside, and the quality of this one is impeccable, but still I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I keep stuttering, guys. So next, let's talk about Unearthly Cosmetics. I love them so much. So I have all 9 pans here, and my favorite 9 pan from them to this day, I have 3 on their way to me. I have issues, but it's the Daily Grind. I love this. I love the artwork. I loved like the zoomed in photo of the orange. I think it's so beautiful. I love the like picnic blanket in the background. I just love it. But more than anything, I freaking love this color story. I have pulled this out so many times. This gets a 5. I'd give it a 500. To be honest, it's one of my favorite palettes in my collection. This color combo just does something to me. And again, they are one of those brands that have one of my top favorite formulas. Their shimmer formula is really, really smooth and just glossy and gorgeous. They're beautiful, and they're one of those brands I always, if they don't send me something in PR, I pick it up, because I can't say no. These are beautiful as well. I don't know if I swatched that orange, but if I did, we're doing it again. Oh, it's like one finger swatches. They're gorgeous. Their shimmer formula is 10 out of 10. Their multi-chromes and stuff have become more subtle. Like, it has subtle flips. And I know some people don't like that strong multi-chrome effect. And I feel like if you are that person, you will really love the Unearthly formula. I fall more into the category of I love the strong flips, but I do like a more subtle formula at times. So Unearthly has been one of my top favorite brands since I got into indie eyeshadow. They're one of the first ones I tried, and I've never looked back. I think I picked all of these up myself, actually. None of these I got in PR. None of any of the rest of the palettes. So this is the Lure. I love this artwork. It's so fun. Like, look at her eyes and her lips. She is like so beautiful. If it's gonna show you, there we go. She's just so beautiful. This color story, again, this pairs so well with the Daily Grind. But I love this. It's so fall, and it gets me so excited for like fall Halloween vibes and stuff. But this has like their really good formula in it as well. Their bigger panned palettes, which you'll see in a minute, has their older type of formula. And that one's not bad either, but it's not as good as this one. This one is like really reflective and glossy and shiny, smooth, silky. It's not like too emollient or anything like that. It's a very, very nice formula. If you deal with hooded eyes, I feel like this might be your best bet when it comes to indie eyeshadows. Some other brands come to mind too, usually, but I'm drawing a complete blank. It's too late. So then we have the Night Terror. This was a part of their mini mystery box. This one is so beautiful, isn't it? Oh, this is another one. Oh, and if I didn't tell you, Laura's a 5. Night Terror is also a 5. I love this. And if you like purples, you would lose your mind over this palette. I think it's so beautiful. It's not too monochromatic, and that makes me super happy. So that's what like one swatch of the shimmers look like, but you can build them up as well. So I will go ahead and show you that. Now the top shade, Moonlight, is a little bit more of a toppery kind of shade. It has like that clear base, which makes it to where you can like put a mat down on the lid and then add a little glitter glue and tap some of it over it, and you could build your own shimmers, which I think is really cool. I love those types of shades for that reason. But those are the shades all built up. And do you see what I mean by the shifts being like more subtle? I mean, that's kind of strong, but not really. Not for like what else is out there, but they're freaking gorgeous. Don't get me wrong. Unearthly Cosmetics knows how to do a punchy multi-chrome, and that's what drew me to them initially. But right now they're in their like more, I don't know how to say it, like they're really impactful, but in a softer way, if that makes sense. So this is one of my new ones, my new 9 pans from them. It is the Strawberry Milkshake, and I've not used it a whole lot just yet, but I have used it. This color story is impeccable. This is also a 5. I love this so much. It's so beautiful. These pinks with the greens. We are going to do some spring looks. I have some palettes that are newer to me that I bought like during the Black Friday months and when all the sales were going on during the holidays and stuff that I want to get some use out of, and this is one of them. It's just so pretty. I love the yellow with the greens, the yellow with the pinks. There's so much one could do with this palette, and I'm excited. I cannot wait to get my fingers in it, but this is also a 5. So this one I'll give a 4.5 because it has their older formula, and like I said, it's not bad, but it's better now. And it has the bigger pans, but I love the color story of the Fairy Frolic. I love the artwork as well. I like most of Unearthly's artwork. It's very quirky and weird, and so is just Unearthly as a whole, but they do weird in such a beautiful way. And you know, I feel like the weird people are always the coolest people I've ever met. I like weird people. I am weird people. So I feel like I really vibe with them. This color story is so gorgeous. This is like a more curated version of the Muse palette from Cosmic Brushes. And this formula is just as good. So if you've been on the fence about the Muse palette, this one might be a little less intimidating for you. This palette is so beautiful. Honestly, my only regret with Unearthly Cosmetics is that I did not find them sooner. They are just so fun. See, these shimmers are beautiful. They're more of your traditional type of shimmer. They're not as impactful and shiny as the newer ones, but they're still freaking gorgeous. And this shade, the Antique Gold, is one of my favorites. Oh, it's so freaking gorgeous. Something just draws me into those shades lately. I just love them. But I don't know if I said, I would probably give this one about a 4.5 or a 4 because of it's the older formula, but I still really love it. There's tons of good palettes here, you guys, like so many. It's hard sometimes to rank them because honestly, it's been so long since I've like really tried a really bad eyeshadow palette. Like, they're all workable. You know what I mean? It's rare to run across a really bad one, at least for me. But it's a wonderful problem to have when you have to rank something and they're all like number ones. Last, this is one of my newest loves. Fantasy Cosmetica, and they could do a 9-pan like nobody's business. So I just did a 2-look review on the Monk palette, and this palette is so freaking gorgeous. I love it so much. It is monochromatic though, so honestly I would probably give this like a 4.8 because it's almost a 5. Like, the quality is impeccable. The color story is freaking gorgeous. But I do like a more scattered, chaotic type of color story, as most of you know. So that's why it goes down that 0.2, you know, but it's so outstanding, so beautiful. I love them. They're another brand I would love to be affiliated with. I think they're amazing. Their artwork is so incredible. I like a lot of their products. I haven't tried the highlight yet. I never did pick it up, but I wish I would have. I know a lot of you guys loved it. Then we have the Warlock palette. This one is beautiful. I do not have a video of this one, but this is so stunning. She is a 5 all day long. The shimmers are beautiful. I love this color story as well, but the shimmers just take my breath away. Oh, that green. That green reminds me of a single, actually, in the collection I just reviewed from Artitude. Let's do a comparison. This little acrylic palette from Artitude is like such great quality, and these shimmers are insanely good. Yeah. So there they are. The top one is from the Artitude collection. When I lean my hand back like this, I can see like a blue shift to it, and it kind of has like that pewter type of base, but then it shifts to like a green, and there's like kind of like a muted gold. This one is really beautiful too. It has like slight blue, but also like a emerald green kind of flip to it. They are different. Both are really beautiful though. My Artitude video should already be up, but highly recommend you check it out. I already told you guys about the looks and stuff. I had so much fun. But like I said, this one is a 5. Then we have the Fighter palette, and I love this. I love the cool tones. I love the yellow mixed with the grays. Gray goes so good with so many colors. It goes so beautiful with like green, blue, purple, yellows. It's such a stunning color. I love it with the wine shades. I've done a few looks like that with the Gourmand Girls Bitten palette. I love that look so much. Like I've said a bunch of times, I thought that I hated cool tones, but I really fell in love with them. So I'm so glad that like kind of started trending, because it made me find my love for that. But this one is beautiful, and look at those shimmers. They're so impactful. And again, if I had to like rank it on quality, it would get a 5. But my likelihood of using it, it will probably get about a 3. Beautiful, but not my favorite. Again, with the artwork. We could do the artwork all day. Like, this one is one of my favorites. The Wizard was my first, but we'll get to those. So the next is Sorcerer. I can't wait to see what they release next. Oh, this is so pretty. I love the mattes that they paired with the shimmers, because one would think, like, how do you make those work? Trust me, just do it. They work. It's so fun. So we have 4 mattes in this palette and 5 shimmers. That's a pretty good ratio for me. In this shade, oh, I'll show you better swatches. I know that was a little blurry. Oh, the one on my ring finger is so pretty. This is another, oh, look at that. Let me, I'll show you these real quick, and then I'll go back in and like re-intensify them. Ooh, that middle one. Ooh, that middle one. That top one, Jesus, that is so beautiful. Is that not completely giving you like mermaid vibes? That is so gorgeous. It's like an aqua with a really bright fluorescent purple. Their shimmers are so good. I love them. I have had people in my comments tell me that they have really hooded eyes and they do deal with creasing, but they buy them anyways because they love their formula so much, and it's easy to like just tap them out. But I just wanted to throw that out there. But I love them. I do have slightly hooded eyes as well, and I personally do not deal with the creasing, but my eyes aren't as hooded as other people's might be. And those are the other two. This palette is so stunning. She gets a 5. This is another one of my favorites. It's the Druid. The artwork on this one is so pretty. It's definitely one of my favorites. I think it's stunning, but the color story. Those 3 mattes together are so delicious that I cannot even freaking stand it. But let's do the shimmers. I'm probably going to end up swatching all of these because I can't help myself. There's another one of those green shades. This one looks a little brighter though. We will see. Look at that. That bottom shade is really beautiful. That duo flip in that is so gorgeous. And then we have 2 more shimmers. Transformation is gorgeous. It kind of reminds me of that first shade that I swatched, but it is different. And then we have Regrowth. But there those are. They are so freaking stunning. I really love them, and honestly I would give this one a 5 as well, both for quality and my likelihood of reaching for it. I've brought these with me on a few trips lately and I've had so much fun with them. I really want to do a full bingo with all of my Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. I think it would be fun. There's like so much I want to do, but not enough time to do it in. I wish I could do my makeup more than once a day like I used to, but my allergies say no. Okay, so now we have the Barred palette. We are almost done. But the Barred palette is really beautiful. I like the matte color story, but something about this, it just doesn't speak to me as much as the others. So I would probably give this one a 3. But we're still going to swatch these shimmers. I mean, they're beautiful. They're outstanding. But I know me, I wouldn't reach for this one over the other ones that I've given 5s to. That top shade though, it's so good. Oh, I just love those kinds of shades so much. You've heard me say it 100 times. I am so sorry for repeating myself. And last one is Wanderer. She's a wanderer. And that is the last one. It is called Wanderer. It's beautiful. But the next palette, I don't know if I told you. I think I said I'd give this one a 3. Okay, so 2 more to go. And this one is actually my first palette. It was the Wizard palette, my first palette from Fantasy Cosmetica. Look at the stars falling. It's so freaking pretty. I love this one so much. But blue is one of my favorite eyeshadow colors, and the fact that they paired it with these yellow pastels made this palette like one of my favorites in my whole collection. The shimmers are so pretty. I fell so in love with this brand after this. I bought the Cradled in Ice collection next. That is one of my favorite shades. You could see like the glitter reflex. My fingernails look terrible, guys. Don't judge me. Oh, so pretty. Even Amanda like loved these looks so much. She like bought us new sheets and blankets, which I've told you guys that before. But we like changed our whole bedroom in this color scheme. And we loved it. We've changed it since then, but we did love it. We both like to change out stuff like that. We're getting ready to paint our house. Actually, we just started the buying process and all of that. We're so excited, but I can't wait to be able to paint and like make it ours. Right now, all of our walls are white, like stark white, and it is beautiful because we have like really beautiful like big windows in our living room, and I feel like the white kind of looks good with those windows, but I'm ready for some color, you know? But the last palette, we made it. It is the Rogue palette, and he looks like Peter Pan. I don't know what this one was based on because this is another one that Amanda bought me, but I freaking love this color story so much. I totally give it a 5. I think it is incredible. So this is the shade Trickster. And then we have Sleight of Hand, Sneak Attack, and Deception. This one looks really good. Oh. I love them. I love this palette. Oh, do I have a Fantasy Cosmetica ranking yet? I need to do that because that would be so hard, but that would be such a fun ranking, don't you think? Let me know your thoughts. But this is beautiful. I love this color story. I love the mattes as well. I love that they put this really light shade here in it. And I just think it's beautiful. Like these 3 shades together would be so gorgeous. You could use the blue to blend out this deep shade, or you could do this in the crease and blend it out with this and then do the shade in the inner corner. That would be beautiful. I don't even know what I would put on the lid. Probably this one. This palette is so freaking spectacular. I love it. Well, you guys, that is it. Those are all my smaller palettes. I had so much fun swatching in this video. Like I said, eyeshadow is the only thing that I would stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning for because I love it so much. There's something about going through your collection, seeing what you already have, and just you kind of like fall in love with it all over again. That's one of my favorite things about makeup, and seeing other people's excitement for a product that you have, and it makes you kind of see it through someone else's eyes. That's one of the things I love so much about reading your guys' comments, is hearing what you think about things and being able to see something through a different mindset, a different viewpoint. I think that's so fun. But this video was a blast, so thank you so much to the person who left the comment. I really appreciate it. You are freaking awesome. All of you are, and I love you guys so much. But I do have a bunch of 12 pans, 18 pans. Like, should we keep going with this? That's the question I would love for you to answer. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you guys love this video, please give it a thumbs up, or even if you liked it a little bit, give it a thumbs up. It really does help me out, and I really appreciate it. But if you haven't subscribed yet, I also hope that you will. And until next time, bye.